In a quiet little American town, where everyone knows everyone, there lived a woman named Lisa Carter. She was a single mother, strong, humble, and kind, but life hadn't been kind to her. Every morning before sunrise, Lisa put on her faded diner uniform and laced up her worn-out shoes. She'd quietly whisper to her 10-year-old daughter, "Mommy's gotta go make that pancake magic happen, okay?" And Mia would giggle sleepily before drifting back to sleep. Lisa worked at Millie's Diner downtown, serving customers with a smile that hid the exhaustion in her eyes. And when the diner lights went off at night, she'd change into her second uniform, cleaning offices until midnight. She didn't have much, but she had heart. Every dollar she earned went toward rent, school supplies, and keeping the lights on in their tiny apartment. She never complained. Never asked for pity. Still, every so often she'd stare at her reflection and whisper, "One day things will get better, they have to." Lisa's kindness was her strength, and also her weakness. Because in a world that can be cold and unfair, people like her often pay the highest price for having a good heart. So, Lisa was about to learn just how much kindness could cost. But what she didn't know was that one small act of compassion, something most people would overlook, was about to change her entire life. It was a chilly Thursday morning. The diner smelled of fresh coffee and maple syrup as customers came and went. Lisa was busy refilling cups, her hands red from washing dishes in cold water. That's when she noticed him, an elderly man, sitting alone near the window. His clothes were worn, his hands trembling as he clutched an old hat. He looked hungry and lost. Lisa walked over with her usual gentle smile. "Good morning, sir. What can I get you today?" The man hesitated. His voice cracked. "I don't have any money, ma'am. I just needed a warm place for a minute." Lisa's heart ached. Without a second thought, she whispered, "Don't you worry about it. Breakfast is on me today." She brought him scrambled eggs, toast, and coffee, all paid from her own tips. The old man's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, miss. You've no idea how long it's been since someone cared." But kindness doesn't always sit well with everyone. At the next table, a rude customer, a man in a business suit, had been watching. He slammed his cup down and called out, "Hey, are you just giving out free meals now? What kind of diner is this?" Lisa froze. Before she could respond, Mrs. Jenkins, the owner, stormed out from the kitchen. "Lisa, what's this about free food?" Lisa tried to explain. "He hadn't eaten in 2 days, ma'am. I couldn't turn him away." Mrs. Jenkins glared coldly. "You don't run a charity here, Lisa. You're fired. Pack your things." The diner went silent. Lisa stood there, stunned, her heart pounding in her chest. She tried to plead, but Mrs. Jenkins turned her back and walked away. The old man looked devastated. "I'm sorry, miss. I didn't mean to cause you trouble." Lisa smiled weakly, tears forming in her eyes. "It's okay. Some things are worth losing." Lisa thought she'd lost everything that day, her job, her stability, her dignity. But fate had other plans. That night, rain poured down as Lisa walked home with Mia's tiny hand in hers. Her umbrella was broken, her clothes soaked, but she forced a smile. "It's just water, sweetheart. We'll dry off soon." Behind that smile was pain she couldn't show her daughter. When they reached their apartment, an eviction notice was taped to the door. Her hands trembled as she pulled it off. Bills piled on the kitchen table like an avalanche. She applied for jobs at grocery stores, cleaning companies, even gas stations. But no one was hiring. "We'll call you," they'd say. They never did. Nights grew colder, and the fridge emptier. One night, after putting Mia to bed, Lisa sat by the window, tears rolling down her cheeks. She clasped her hands and whispered a prayer. "God, if kindness was my mistake, then please, let it still mean something someday." The world outside was quiet, almost as if listening. But sometimes, the storm must break before the sun shines again. And just when Lisa had almost given up, a phone call would come that she'd never forget. 2 weeks later, Lisa's phone rang from an unknown number. She almost didn't answer, she assumed it was another rejection. But something told her to pick up. "Hello? Is this Lisa Carter?" a woman's calm, professional voice asked. Lisa hesitated. Yes, this is she. This is Angela Brooks, from the Brooks Community Foundation. We'd like to speak with you about something important. Could you come by our office tomorrow at 10? Lisa blinked, confused. I'm sorry, ma'am, I think there's a mistake. I didn't apply for anything there. Angela chuckled softly. No mistake, Miss Carter. It's about something you did recently. Trust me, it's a good thing. Lisa hung up, her heart racing. What could this be about? She didn't even know any foundation. The next morning, she wore her best clothes, a faded blue dress and a jacket she'd mended twice. As she looked at herself in the mirror, Mia hugged her tight. You look pretty, Mum. Maybe it's good news. Lisa smiled, brushing her daughter's hair. Let's hope so, sweetheart. When she arrived downtown, she found herself standing before a modern glass building, way fancier than any place she'd ever been. Inside, the receptionist smiled warmly and said, Miss Carter? They've been expecting you. Lisa's nerves trembled as she followed the hallway toward a door that read, Angela Brooks, Director. She took a deep breath, knocked, and stepped inside, unaware that the person behind that door knew her far better than she could have imagined. Inside the office, a kind-looking woman in her 40s stood to greet her. Lisa Carter. It's so good to finally meet you, Angela said warmly. Lisa shook her hand, puzzled. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Why did you call me? Angela smiled and gestured for her to sit. I believe you helped someone very special to me a few weeks ago, at a diner. Lisa's brow furrowed. A diner? Oh, the elderly man, Angela nodded, eyes welling with emotion. That man was my father. Lisa gasped, covering her mouth. Your father? Angela continued softly. He has mild dementia. That morning, he wandered away from home. My family searched everywhere for him. When we finally found him, he kept saying, there was a lady who gave me breakfast and called me sir. She made me feel human again. Lisa's eyes filled with tears. I just couldn't let him go hungry. Angela smiled gently. You didn't just feed him, Lisa. You gave him dignity. And that act of kindness, it saved his life. Lisa sat there speechless, her heart overwhelmed. Angela leaned forward. My father's wish was that we find you. He said, that woman deserves a better life. And I agree. And then Angela made an offer that would turn Lisa's life around forever. Angela handed Lisa a folder. Inside was a job offer, a full-time position at the Brooks Community Foundation. We run programs that support families in need, Angela explained. We'd love for you to help us manage community outreach. You have the heart for it, and that's something money can't buy. Lisa's voice shook. You mean me? But I don't have a degree or, Angela interrupted kindly. You have compassion, Lisa. That's what this world needs most. Tears streamed down Lisa's face as she whispered, Thank you. Thank you so much. From that day on, everything changed. Lisa started her new job, helping struggling families find housing, food, and hope, things she once needed herself. She finally had stability. Mia had new school supplies, warm clothes, and even piano lessons, something Lisa had always dreamed of for her daughter. One Saturday, at a local food drive, Lisa stood behind a table serving meals to the homeless. As she handed out plates, she caught herself smiling. It reminded her of that morning in the diner, except this time, she was surrounded by people who understood her heart. And soon, her story would come full circle, in the very same diner where it all began. Months later, Lisa walked past Millie's diner again, only this time, she wasn't wearing a uniform. She walked in wearing a soft beige coat and confidence in her stride. The new manager, a young woman, recognized her immediately. Wait, are you Lisa Carter? The woman from the foundation. Lisa smiled humbly. I guess that's me. The manager grinned. We've heard about you. You're the reason our town's been doing community drives. People talk about your story all the time. Lisa's eyes glistened as she looked around the place that once broke her. When the waitress brought her coffee, Lisa slipped a $100 bill under the saucer. The waitress gasped. Ma'am, that's too much. Lisa smiled softly. Someone once told me, kindness always finds its way back. She stood up, gave one last glance at the corner table where the old man once sat, and walked out into the sunlight. Sometimes, kindness costs you what you have. Sometimes it breaks your heart. But if you stay true to it, it can buy you something far greater, your destiny. Because in a world that often rewards greed, the purest hearts always win in the end. Moral of this story: true kindness never goes unrewarded. It may cost you today, but it will open doors tomorrow that money could never buy. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness is never wasted. Because sometimes, losing something good is just life's way of making room for something greater. And remember, we're not just telling stories. We're changing lives.